so much for being here on this wintry night. I feel like I should be offering everybody hot cocoa, but wine and beer and water seems like a good alternative instead. So my name is Emma Wilson, and delighted that you could join us and join with my colleagues Kevin Thomas and Sean Thomas and Jessica Brayboy. So we're just all super happy to have people be here and to celebrate the beautiful work that is on view. A couple of thank yous. Thank you to Abby Ballou Haley, who just hid. She was like running away, but for her incredible catering, and for the fabulous Lucy Denton, of course, who's pouring beverages from Oak Hill Beverage. Follow us on Instagram if you don't already, Facebook, and also on our newsletter and our website. And also subscribe to our YouTube station, Radio Maine with Dr. Lisa Belial. Lisa is on cue, entering into the space in the fabulous red suit. And so Lisa has these engaging conversations with our community, artists, and beyond. So when I think about this show, I think about exuberance of Page, I think about tranquility and peace of Emma, and I think about family and connection and gratitude with Nina. That's just what was jumping out of me as I was sitting here. I'm going to start with introducing Jenny Lee Morris. So Emma sadly has the flu, so she's not able to be here this evening, but she is with us here in spirit, and her parents are also here, and I've been starting to get some stories about Emma without her being here from her parents, which was actually kind of fun. So, but Jenny will make a few remarks about on his behalf in a minute. But I do want to say how proud we are and excited we are to be representing Emma. She's an extraordinary artist whose works resonates deeply with viewers. And I have to say, when I go out for an evening walk, now that it doesn't get dark at 4:30, it gets dark at 5:30, when I go out for an evening walk, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's an Emma Ballou sky. And so I think of her frequently. With that, I'd like to introduce Jenny Lee Morris, her partner, and thank you so much for being here.
Ever in my life give a speech at an art opening. Here I am. My name is Jenny Lee, and Emma Ballou is my partner, who is home sick right now with the flu. But we have a few notes here to say. But I did want to say I love what you said about an Emma Ballou sky, because that's how I see the world. So, okay, sorry. Her art has really influenced me a lot too. So again, thank you so much for coming out here in this weather. It's really exciting to have everybody here. Emma wanted to just express her gratitude to the Portland Art Gallery, and she is just so grateful to be a part of this community. She actually grew up in Buxton, Maine, and it was here that her deep connection to the natural world, especially trees, started. As an only child, trees were often her companions and playmates. She spent countless hours exploring the forests and fields around her, and it's that same bond with nature that still inspires her work today. Everyone sees the world through their own lens, and Emma's natural lens tends to be a bit blurry. Because of her poor eyesight, when she's not wearing glasses or contacts, her perspective of the world changes to something that is much more emotional than visual clarity. In some of her paintings, she likes to play with this blurry, ethereal perspective to encourage the viewer to see the beauty in such a soft world. At the end of the day, her goal is to create paintings that offer a sense of serenity, but with a bit of drama, a balance between light and darkness. She wants you, the viewer, to feel something when you look at her work, to be transported to landscapes from your own life that still hold space inside of you. Finally, she would like to once again thank the amazing Portland Art Gallery staff and all of her friends and family for taking time away from their busy lives to be here tonight. It means the world to her. I hope you all enjoy this beautiful and dynamic show with such talented artists.
Thank you, Jenny Lee. All right, where is that? So, sort of a funny story that I already told you about. When people were here earlier this week to install the names, and Jess and I were doing inventory, and so I was sort of walking back to the back area, and they're like, where do you want this one to go? And I'm like, over Will. And then he doesn't know who Will is, but of course we all know who Will is because they become parts of our family. Nina has introduced us to these beautiful, beautiful sheep and living creatures on her farm, and we're so happy. So now we know Will, and we know Louie, we know Dodgy, we know Bella, we know Sarah, we know them all, which is fabulous. People often remark on Nina's exceptional technical skill as a photographer, but then also her ability to capture a living creature with such clarity, grace, and love. Please welcome artist Nina Fuller.
Hi. Thanks for coming out here tonight, because that wasn't easy. I want to thank Portland Art Gallery and all the artists. Have always been so kind. I mean, across the board. So that's amazing to feel so supported by the gallery and the staff and the other artists. In 1980, I started a photography gallery right across the street here at 148 Middle Street, and a studio. You had to walk through a little barber shop to get to it, like a little speakeasy, which wasn't good for business, but it's amazing that all these years later, I've come a block. So I think I've been photographing, and I've been in Maine since the early 70s, and it's just, I think it's amazing that for the 53 years I've been here and I've been doing the exact same thing. Feels really good. And not the sheep, that's the last 13 or 14 years. I was talking to somebody earlier about these photographs, and every one of these photographs has a story. I'll tell you about it if you want later.
Tell her now.
No.
Tell her about the chicken.
Oh, the chicken, okay. So you can't see the chicken from here, but around the corner is a chicken, and her name is Eunice, which Beth Engel named. It's Nice, because Beth lived in Cape Elizabeth. She had a little farm, and this chicken was getting pecked like raw from her other chickens. So she called me up and she said, would you take this chicken? The chicken is getting bullied by the other chickens. So I took the chicken, and I have a lot of chickens. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen all the ducks and the chickens. But the chicken would only hang out with the sheep, which is why Beth called her Nice, so it's Eunice, the chicken. Because she hung out with the sheep for like 5 months, just slept with the sheep, and that window that she's in is on the sheep barn, that barn right there, that little window. And finally, after about 4 or 5 months, she was completely cleaned up and beautiful and fat and happy and didn't look at all distressed. And it was only then that she went and started hanging out with the chickens. So that's the chicken story. Anyway, thank you. Thank you.
I want to hear more stories for sure. Thank you, Nina. Now I'd like to introduce artist Page Eastburn O'Rourke. I'm really excited to hear from Paige this evening because this is all a new body of work. She's clearly poured her heart into this, and we wanted to showcase it early in the year so that we could all learn and understand this direction and this vision that she has in her life right now. So one aspect of Paige as an artist that we just respect so much is her fearlessness of color and embracing those new directions in her work. It's risky, but she does it with aplomb, hey, good word, right? And dedication, so it always works. So please welcome artist Page Eastburn O'Rourke.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. It's wonderful to see so many friendly faces on this snowy evening. Sharing this moment means the world to me, and I'm honored to be showing alongside the very talented Nina and Emma. My work is about joy, capturing it, celebrating it, and sharing it. I love simplifying complex scenes into bold shapes, vibrant colors, and rich textures. For me, a painting feels complete when it carries that special spark, a little bit of magic that connects my vision with the emotions I hope to share. I've learned to trust the process and listen to my creativity. One day last summer, while walking our dog Bear, I had a burst of inspiration. I started imagining abstract circles in my favorite shade of Grinch green. And suddenly, bam, it wasn't just a circle, it was a grape. And then it was a bunch of grapes. And then, of course, a full-blown bowl of fruit. I was so excited by the idea that Bear and I practically ran back to my studio so I could paint it. It's moments like these that make the creative process so much fun for me. Through working on abstracts, I've learned to focus on larger shapes and more texture. This collection reflects my journey, starting with Maine landscapes, moving into abstracts, and now still lifes that incorporate abstract elements of larger shapes and textures. These pieces are deeply personal to me, inspired by memories of collecting shells with my sons at the beach, flowers from my mother's gardens, and vases that were a wedding gift. I paint in acrylics on birch panels and love layering textures and patterns to bring each piece to life. One of the moments that truly shaped me as an artist was a trip to the Philadelphia Museum of Art when I was a teenager. I walked into an exhibit of pop art and felt a jolt of delight. That has stayed with me ever since. The bold, bright colors and engaging, simplified subject matter were so colorful, playful, and dynamic. My biggest takeaway was that art doesn't have to take itself too seriously to have an emotional impact, value, and the power to inspire. Living here in Maine continues to inspire me every day, and I'm grateful to be part of Maine's vibrant artistic community. My husband and I have our own collection of Maine art, and we always seek pieces that uplift and bring fresh, joyful energy into our home. I try to bring that same sense to my own work. In a world that can often feel overwhelming, I believe art has a unique ability to lift us up. It gives us a place to pause, to breathe, and to reconnect with what's bright and what's good. Whether it's a moment of escape or a way to process emotions, I hope my paintings offer a sense of warmth and joy, like a little visual exhale, because sometimes even the simplest things, a burst of color, a playful shape, a familiar memory, can remind us of what's possible. Before I finish, I want to give a huge thank you to the amazing team at Portland Art Gallery, and to the wonderful community of artists and art lovers here. I deeply appreciate your energy and support, and a special thank you to my family, Kevin, Griffin, and Duncan, for your love, encouragement, and honest feedback. At its heart, my work is about joy and connection. I hope the show stops you in your tracks, even for a moment, and invites you to feel the freedom and delight I've poured into each piece. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I'd love to hear what resonates for you as you explore the show. Thank you.
It's like a day here. It's like you want to wake up and feel this, and then you go to work and it's hard work, but it's satisfying, rewarding, and then you close out the day with this beautiful sort of tranquil mood. So anyway, that's the way I'm going to live my life. All right, well, thank you so much for coming, and please, I invite you to talk with our artists about the work that they have on view, and if you have any questions or are interested in taking them home with you, let us know. All right, thanks for being here.